Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Akhila Najiha binti Ibrahim. Today, I would like to present to you about the company background. The company is newly established and we named the company as a COCORICH company, which means high in quality and rich in color. So the objective of the company we choose as to providing our customers quality, tasteful product and customized cocoa solutions. The company also known as a product manufacturer, and the productions of the company is through height from the quality of the cocoa. And then the productions of the cocoa are very entirely from our employee. And then the company also have the priority, which is export and import. From the export and import, we can generate our profit, and also we can introduce our product to the whole country. As a new company, we think we can make a better decisions from the facts, which is we can research, we can obtain a better result in this business after we making the research. And as an example, we as a COCORICH company, we will do high research through the data by using our own data, and then we can decide for the checking price of our product, and also we can choose the better location to establish our company. So we making research, we decided to establish the company at Raut Pahang because it was better location. And then as a good company, we decided to making our priority on the information technology, because from the information technology we can obtain the best result in data. So not of the information technology, but the quantitative method also we use, and then we refer a lot of statistical analysis. So from the statistical analysis, we choose three, which is descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. So from the analytics, our company, which is COCORICH company, we can decide by making the research, so we understand about the past and current business performance. So we can choose a best decision after that. And also from the analytics, we can predict of the future. So for me, we no need to scare after we can predict about the future. And then the company, as we choose as the objective, as I said before, the company choose the best objective also after we minimize the analytics. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Hadi bin Irhaman, and I will be presenting a few data analysis as for our assignment, the course of business analytics. So without further ado, let's start with the presentation. First of all, I would like to highlight the import and export data of cocoa beans and its product in and out of Malaysia. Based on what you can see here, I have put some conditional formatting of icon sets to further enhance the visibility of the flow throughout of the year. So we can see that which products are being demanded in and out of Malaysia, since historical value of export and imports will represent demand of a product. This will certainly help us in determining on which product should we be focusing on, since if we follow the demand, then we will certainly be generating sales and profit. So it's much easier for us to market our product. So as you can see, the result shows that cocoa powder, cocoa butter, and cocoa beans are the much promising option to market our product via the demands. But for imports, it seems that only cocoa beans are being seen by people in Malaysia. But overall, these two shows a total of positive value for import and export. Next is when we can see a little bit analysis on the maximum, minimum, sum, and average. So of each product throughout of the year, so we can set a standard or prediction on how low and high we can go for these categories, so we can have an instrument to evaluate our company performance. Next and lastly for me, it's on meeting the demand. So we need to ensure a proper supply for us. Therefore, we have collected data on planted area and production for cocoa beans from 2015 to 2019. From the data, we can see the maximum of planted area is 9,557, but surprisingly, its production is only at 345 tonnes, which tells us that having a large and vast planted area will not certainly produce the greatest number in the production. Therefore, this is why we chose Raub in the peninsula of Malaysia as our business location, since its value is quite promising for us for the planted area and production, and aside from that, being in business at the peninsula which holds the 11 states of Malaysia will help us in the term of facilitating our business distribution and operation, whereby it is much convenient for us to perform our business operation. That is all for me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nur Amira Sofia binti Rosli. So let me see a visual representation of our company which consists of graph. This graph will ease our company to analyze the data quickly, clearly, and we can have better understanding based on this graph. This data also will help the decision-making process for our business. Let's see for the first graph, which is export of cocoa. As we can see this in this graph, the highest exported product is cocoa powder, based on article written by Dr. V. Jackson in Berita Harian. The cocoa bean greening sector is growing rapidly, making Malaysia the largest greening country in Asia and the 5th largest in the world. Our company will make sure that we will be one of the company that will contribute in grinding this cocoa beans into cocoa powder. So our company will indirectly help our country to export cocoa powder to foreign countries. For the second graph of imports of cocoa. Cocoa beans is the highest product that have been imported in Malaysia due to reduction of cocoa growing area caused by land use competition. This shows that cocoa have high demand in our country. Therefore, our company target to have a largest land area to plant cocoa beans so that we don't need to import cocoa beans from foreign countries. Next, let's see planted area and production of cocoa by region in Malaysia graph. As we can see here, the hectare area at Peninsula is less compared to Sabah and Sarawak. Therefore, we choose to open our company with biggest hectare in Raub, Pahang to increase the cocoa plants in Peninsula. Based on this graph, the amount of production in Peninsula decreasing from 2015 to 2019. Therefore, our business needs to increase the marketing strategies in order to increase volume of production from Peninsula. Based on all of this analysis, we can see there is opportunity for our company to go further in future. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tasni. In this slide, I'm going to present about the measure of central tendency and dispersion. Without further ado, let's start it. The first element for measure of central tendency is mean. Mean is the sum of all the values that divided by the numbers in the data set. As we collected the data, we can see that Sabah and Sarawak has a lot of area or has a lot of land to plant the cocoa bean instead of Peninsula. Here, this company need to pay more attention by providing a lot area for planting the cocoa bean in Peninsula, because in the table of production shows that production from Peninsula much more higher than Sabah and Sarawak for 3 years. The second elements for this measure is median. Median is known as the median value in the data set. In this data, the median value is 1029, and this is because when we sort out the total production in the ascending order, we can get that 1029 is in the middle, and thus will be the median value for this data. The last elements from this measure is mode. Mode is known as a repetitive value or the most frequent in the data set. It also known as a popular option and it might be difficult to interpret the mode if in the data has more than one or there's no mode in the data set. For this data from this company, there is no repetitive value or most frequent value because here this company having a changing in term of total of area planted for cocoa bean as well as for production. So there is no repetitive value in terms of those table. Next, we are going to look about the elements under discussion. The first element that I'm going to talk is range. Range is the difference between the greatest value and the least value in the data set. Based on this company, the data that we collected from this company, we can conclude that in 2019, the company has gained a highest total of export among other years. The factors that might be influence this total, the increasing in total export because on each product of this company produce, it keeps on increasing year by year. The second element is variance. Variance used to measure the variability of the mean or the average. It can be calculated by differentiate the numbers in the data set with the mean, and then the differentiation will be squared to make it positive. Finally, the sum of that squared will be divided by the numbers in the data set. The last elements in the dispersion is standard deviation. Standard deviation is used to tell how the measurements of the group are spread out from the average. It can be divided by two categories, which is the low standard deviation and the high standard deviation. The low standard deviation means that the numbers are most close with the average. I think that's all from me talking about measure of center tendency and the dispersion. I hope my explanation and my presentation can be heard clearly by you. Thank you for lending me your ears, time, and eyes for this presentation. Thank you.
In this slide, we are going to see the skewness and kurtosis using the coefficient of skewness and kurtosis formula. So, the skewness for planted area of cocoa beans by region in Malaysia is amounted to negative 0.01563, which is the negative signs there. Therefore, the data are left skewed distribution, while kurtosis is amounted to negative 2.296, less than 3. That implies the data distribution is flatter with a wide range of dispersion. Next, for the data of production of cocoa beans by region in Malaysia, the skewness is amounted to 0.4505, which is a positive sign. Therefore, the data are right skewed distribution. While for the kurtosis is amounted to negative 3.0244, which is less than 3, implies that the data distribution is flatter with a wide degree of dispersion. Then, for the import of cocoa beans and cocoa products in Malaysia, the skewness is amounted to negative 0.5748, which is a negative sign. Therefore, the data are left skewed distribution. For the kurtosis, negative 2.1495, which is less than 3, implies that the data distribution is wide degree of dispersion. And the last one is for the export. The skewness is negative 0.2546, which is a negative sign. Therefore, the data are left skewed distribution. While for the kurtosis is negative 1.784, less than 3, implies that data distribution is flatter with a wide degree of dispersion. So
So now we are going to see the descriptive statistic. Descriptive statistic is a data tool that provides a summary of numerical statistical measures of central tendency, dispersion, and shape for a sample data. These are the descriptive statistics for each of data used in our business. In this slide, we could see there is a list of data summarization.